It's Harmon Dash with our own Dr. Stuart Phillips here at Make It Fair to talk about the roller coaster ride that all of us Americans have been on, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. A few weeks back, the House passed a version of it. Wee hours of last Saturday morning, the Senate passed a version. They're trying to reconcile them. They're having all sorts of trouble coming up with one bill to finally vote on. So this thing ain't law yet. But it is clear about 80% of the population here in America not really pleased with what they're trying to pass here. It looks like they're trying to help the wealthy, the rich, and not the average American. Is that the case?
That's my opinion of the bill, and 80% of the people in the United States agree with this.
Well, I mean, they say that this is going to stimulate the economy and add jobs. It's right in the title. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Is it going to create jobs?
Well, what we ought to do is think about it. It's always been our opinion in Make It Fair that we select our elected representatives for the wrong reason. Right now, we select our representatives by their ability to raise money. When you read in the newspaper, it says over and over again, he is a serious candidate. He's been able to raise $100,000. We just went through a mayoralty election.
Here in New Orleans.
I see I'm being presidential. I'm having trouble talking too.
Well, aside from the slurring of your words.
Right. And if you recall in that election, everyone thought that the lady who eventually didn't win was going to win because early on she raised the most money.
Absolutely.
No one talked about whether she was the most honest. Her ideas were the best.
No talk about policy, just
Just
look how much money
policy.
she raised.
Yeah. And our idea is that's not a good way to pick people, and when you do that, you get stuck with what we got.
Well, and to be fair, the person who won the mayoral election may not have raised as much money, but was given the inner circle of the possible candidates because of the amount of money she was able to raise too.
There were 3 or 4 really well qualified candidates in that race who never got a hearing because they didn't raise money. Our idea is if we have a better way of selecting our candidates, you can get a candidate who is intelligent and has good policy instead of one that has friends and knows how to get graft.
Well, so what about the actual bill? It seems like there's something in there saying that teachers are no longer allowed to write off supplies for their students.
Well, what we would like to do in this segment of our commentaries is to explore with our friends why we say that this bill isn't for jobs. I think everyone would understand that the best way to get people better jobs is for better education. So if you were designing a bill to help the American people, to have them get better jobs and better education, what would you do? Penalize teachers and help Wall Street bankers, or the other way around?
Well, I mean, I think this is a leading question. It's pretty obvious if you want to educate the next generation.
Harmon, would I lead?
No, never. But in the meantime, so if teachers can't write off supplies anymore.
This bill makes it illegal for teachers to write off the pencils that they buy for the kids, but makes it legal for Wall Street bankers to write off the gold pens that they buy to sign the deals. Which one of those things do you think will help America most to upgrade their employment base and help people?
Well, basically, this is just one example of a myriad of things in this bill that are clearly not helping middle-class America or the average American, but helping the rich. Are the GOP making our point for us that money corrupts?
It seems to me that they're making it much easier for us at Make It Fair to tell you that The GOP is really not looking out for you. They're looking out for their wealthy donors. And if you want to make it fair for the whole United States, you'll have to join with us to get the money out of politics so that we can elect our representatives based on their intelligence and their policy ideas and not on how much graft they can get.
So do you agree with us? Is this bill out to help the rich and not middle class or average Americans? Or do you think there's a chance that this might actually stimulate growth and jobs? You can always leave your comments on our website, makeitfair.us, and find us on Facebook and Twitter as well. For Dr. Stuart Phillips, my name is Harmon Dash. Thank you for watching.